Okay, so I've got a faulty speedometer on my Corsa. So what we're going to do is see if we can take this one apart, the new one, and because when I plugged this in, the mileage was all wrong, so it's obviously programmed to that car that it came out of. So what we're going to do is take this apart and see if we can take just this area out and place it in our other one. So if this works, then obviously I'll be uploading it. So the first job is to undo these clips to take the front off, and then we can remove the side clips here to get the back off, because it may be all soldered on, but until I take it all apart I won't know. Might just take this back part off first and see how that looks. So that was 4 clips to get off, to get that bit off, and now we're going to have to try and get into that back part there. So I'm going to see how that's fitted together next, and then I'll let you know. Okay, so there's 4 T8s. Just have to lift that up a touch just to undo these. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then one over there, 4. So that one's out. Last one. That over, that goes out, and then hopefully we'll be able to move this off now. So we need to heat this up to get the fascia off, because I believe there's another screw holding this together. Okay, so I've taken that whole thing apart, and unfortunately there is no way of taking off the speedometer, because mine was stopping up here. So all I can think of doing is spraying some WD-40 into these bits here, just so it stops it from sticking. I don't understand or know what else to do. I reckon these are programmed into the car from new, which is a shame. They can't actually just swap the things over. I'll have a look online and see if there's anything on there regarding sticking mile/hour needle, but there are some sort of motor in there, so may just have to spray some sort of grease or something in there just to stop it from moving about. Maybe take this front panel off and just spray it with some lube or whatever, because that is not going to be able to be just swapped over, unfortunately, unless we have to buy an EC part number. Maybe I'll have a look online and see if there's a part number for my one to match, but as it stands there is nothing you can take off of this and make it work. So just have to do a bit more investigating. Okay, so what I found is this was actually faulty. It fell apart as soon as I tried to remove it, so that tells me that's probably why it was getting stuck. This was probably moving around in there and not gripping on this casing. Took the needle off, sprayed some cleaner in there that evaporates, and then I put the new one that I took out of here on and put that into the casing. And now we're going to put it back in the car, and if this works it'd be a miracle. But yeah, we'll give it a go, see how it goes, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll have to unsolder that. And what I might do is actually add on a removal of that chip, just so we know how to do it for next time if we need to. but for now we're just going to be putting this back in the car, and hopefully that'll resolve the problem of the sticking needle. What I've just noticed is I've plugged it all in and it's obviously reset all the motors, and now the hand on the accelerator is pointing in the wrong place. So now we've got to take this off again and just turn that around to there, slip it back in when it's on 0, because it's reset itself now. So that's the next job, to take that front cover off and put the needle in the right place. Now another useful thing I've realised you can do, and that's remove the actual faulty motor to put into your other one. So all you got to do is put your screwdriver under the clip there and just slowly prise it out from the case, and that way you could use either one of these to get your broken one working again, because it's only held in with 3 clips. So providing you're careful with removing, this will come out and you'll be able to use this motor for repairing whichever motor is faulty. Now I would guess you would have to stick with this one's a fuel gauge. If you're using the speedo, it'd have to be programmed for there, unless the numbers will match up. Maybe it is programmed to go, yeah it is. So the only numbers that are different really is this number here. All the others match up. So maybe if you take the one off that is not working correctly on your dashboard, by removing these and putting the corresponding one, it should in theory work, as long as when you take it out you remember where it's set, even though when you do plug them back in they do go through a sequence of setting or resetting. So we'll just remove the top one here and then we'll make sure that it can all be plugged back in correctly. Okay, so yeah, your motor's removed and the 4 pins that plug in will stay on the board like so. And then when you put your board back or the motor back on in place, you would need to line those all up again in order for it to all fit back together as it should, and then make sure that your pin on your dial is not bent. So then you can line it all up and put it all back together and it should all work again. So that's another way around fixing your existing dash from your, does it save unsoldering your immobilizer chip from there. So that's another helpful tip, I hope, for you. I mean, you could unsolder those 4 pins in theory. Yeah, you could put some weld on there, you know, a soldering iron to melt those off, and then you could take the pins with it, but might be worth just pulling them out the way I did and then slide them back in again. So that's another tip for you when trying to repair your instrument cluster.